All right. So again, we're going to be doing a non-spine flexion class tonight. Some of you are fine in a loaded spine flexion, and I'll give you one thing to do, and others will not be doing. You'll be doing something separate. So you will need your foam roll, theraband, Pilates ring, and towel roll. We're going to start on your back, tailbone on one end, top of the head on the other end. Make sure that you can kind of reach around and find your stuff. I can get to my band, my ring, my towel roll is right up over my head. We're just going to kind of hang out on that roll. And we'll inhale here. And exhale. So we were talking about that with breathing. We forget that breathing actually takes your core to do it. So we're going to take advantage of that. Put your hands on your belly. And inhale into that belly. Now as you exhale, draw your sits bones close together. Wrap your belly around your spine. Bring your rib cage together and make it very, very small. You can put your hands on your ribs here. Make sure that the ribs are coming together as you exhale. Exhale, exhale, exhale more than you think you can. And now inhale back into the belly again. And you want to inhale all the way down into that pelvis. Allow that inhale to relax the pelvic floor and cause those pelvic floor muscles to stretch. And then exhale. Again, you're drawing the sits bones together. Wrap the muscles down and around the spine. Rib cage comes together and gets very, very small. Exhale, exhale, exhale. And relax. And hands on the belly. Inhale into that belly. And exhale. Now begin to think of lengthening the spine. Tailbone reaches to one end of the roll. Top of the head reaches to the other end of the roll. And the whole spine knits down to the roll. And relax. One more like that. Inhale into the belly. Let that stretch the pelvic floor. And now exhale. Bring the sits bones together. And the rib cage. Keep exhaling. Exhale. Exhale. Make that rib cage as small as you can make it. And relax. Now place the hands at the sides of the ribs. So once again, some of the stuff that we do, you cannot do a belly breath and still do the exercise. So this is our other alternative. We can send the rib cage sideways. So you're going to inhale and think of expanding the ribs from one side of the room to the other, right into those hands. And exhale. Inhale into the ribs. Send them sideways. And exhale. One more time. Inhale into those ribs. Your belly stays knit down to the spine. And exhale. Now go ahead and wrap yourself up. Give yourself a big hug. Lengthen the back of the neck. Knit that full spine down. And you're going to inhale into the ribs right between the shoulder blades back there. So you inhale. Keep the front of your rib cage knit together. And exhale. Not unusual to get a little bit of cramping right at the base of the rib cage. It usually goes away in a few seconds. And inhale.
Did you say we're inhaling to the
into the space between the shoulder blades?
right?
Yep. And exhale. Belly button stays knit down to the spine. Switch the arm that's on top. We'll do 2 big breaths here. Keep that belly button knit down. Keep the rib cage together in the front. Inhale into the back. And exhale. One more time there. Inhale. And exhale. And rest. Bring those hands over your chest here. And we'll reach to the ceiling. Try and touch the ceiling with those fingertips. Place the palms together and interlace the fingers. And then bring your hands, arms are going to stay nice and long and elbows straight. Bring your hands down in front of your belly button instead of in front of your chest. Now reach up over that belly button, nice and long, stretching in between the shoulder blades. Back down.
The belly button is on the foam, right?
Yes. Yep. Everything's knit down. Good question.
Thank you. All the time. Are we reaching toward our knees?
Kind of. It's if you
Can't see
reach
what you're
straight
doing.
up over your chest, where your shoulders are at a
Oh.
90-degree angle. If you do that, there's a tendency of the shoulders to come up to your ears. So I want the fist a little bit lower than that,
Oh, okay.
and then reach on that diagonal.
So like a 45 degree.
Yes. Reaching and back down. Squeeze the roll and reach back down. Squeeze the roll with your shoulder blades and reach back down. Squeeze with the shoulder blades. Good. Bring those palms down to the mat beside you. Reach towards your heels. We're going to squeeze the roll with your shoulder blades. Now turn the palms up to the ceiling and back down. Now check your rib cage. Make sure that your ribs are knitted down on the roll as we do this, and that as you turn the palms up, that your rib cage does not splay apart in the front. So nice and down, pressing those hands down. Squeeze the foam roll with the shoulder blades and turn the palms up. Palms down. Do you feel how there's a tendency of that rib cage to want to pop up?
Mm-hmm.
And the sternum wants to pop up? Can you do that without popping your sternum up? And turn them out. And in. Take the arms up over your chest again, palms facing one another. And we'll take the arms all the way up over our head. Inhale. And exhale. Using that breath to support the movement of the arms. So we inhale, and you can go ahead and let the rib cage come up this time. Now exhale, bring the rib cage down to the hip bones. Feel how that can drag your arms back up over your chest. And now inhale one more time like that. And exhale, rib cage down, down, down. And your arms just literally float back up. Now inhale here. Exhale, hold the rib cage, bring the rib cage down to the hip bones as you exhale, and take the arms up over your forehead. You won't be able to go as far. Inhale. And feel at the end of that inhale how the arms just lighten and float back up. And exhale over the head. Keep the rib cage knit down to the hip bones in the front. Inhale. Bring them back up. And exhale, take them up over the forehead. Keep that rib cage knit down to the hip bones in the front. Squeeze the foam roll with your shoulder blades and turn your palms to the outer walls. And turn them back towards one another and turn them out. Keep that rib cage knit down in the front. And you're squeezing the foam roll with the shoulder blades. And down. Turn the palms out and down. And now bring them back up over your chest. Give yourself a big hug. And drop your chin to the chest. You can do a little tiny upper body curl here, just stretching in between the shoulder blades. Bring it back down. Switch the arm that's on top. Little upper body curl. Roll it back down. Place your hands by your hips. Palms down. Knit that whole spine down to the foam roll. Rest the rib cage down. And now let your lumbar spine come to just a nice, easy place. And I want you to try and keep your last rib on the roll. So the rib cage is really the piece that I want you to make sure you're controlling. From here, I want you to pretend that your hip bone is just a little ball on a bowl. And you're going to bring the knee up, rolling the ball inside the bowl, but don't let the bowl change. And bring it back down. And switch, rolling the ball on the bowl. Don't let the bowl change. Back down. And roll the ball on the bowl. Back down. And left knee. And down. And right knee. And down. And left knee. And down. One more set. Right knee. And down. Don't let that bowl tip. Left knee. And down. And rest. Bring your feet in pretty close. Hip bone distance, which means, I gave this cue to someone else the other day. If you were to line up your right heel with your right ear, and your left heel with your left ear, that's hip bone distance. Is that a better cue than your hip bones?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we are going to lengthen. Let's roll down through that spine. So your sternum presses down, your rib cage presses down, your belly button presses down, and your tailbone then has no place to go except reaching towards your knees. Place your hands on your belly. Make sure those belly muscles are nice and soft on the surface. And now tip your tailbone back down to the roll and tip your bowl of soup towards your feet. And roll down through the spine to 12 o'clock, tipping that bowl of soup towards your face. And to 6 o'clock, tilt the bowl of soup towards your feet. And roll down through the spine, 12 o'clock. And 6 o'clock. Back to center. Keep your knees right where they're at. Drop your right hip towards the floor, letting your left hip roll to the ceiling, just slightly. And switch. So your left hip bone drops to the floor, which makes your right hip bone come up a little bit. Back and forth here. So 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock here. Tilt the bowl of soup to the left, tilt the bowl of soup to the right. Just back and forth. All right. Bring your right hip bone towards the floor. Let your left hip bone rise up a little bit. Now press your left foot into the floor and reach your right knee across the room like you're trying to shine a light into the corner of the ceiling. And it's reaching up and over your left toes. Hold that there. You'll notice at this point that one hip is at 10 o'clock and the other is at 4 o'clock. And then rest it down. Left hip bone goes down. Press into the right foot. Reach your right knee towards your right toes. Shine that light across the room into the corner of the ceiling. And back down. Right hip bone goes down. Left foot presses. Reach that left foot over the toes. Make sure the knee is not trying to turn out. It really is gliding straight forward, like you were trying to take a step forward and down. And then the left hip bone goes down, right hip bone comes up to the ceiling. Press that right foot, lengthen that right knee across the room.
The right knee or the left knee?
So your left hip bone is down, which means your right foot's pressing, and your right knee is going across the room.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's do it one more time then. So your right hip bone presses down, your left foot presses into the mat, and then that left knee glides forward over the toes. So it takes your hips on a diagonal.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm getting it.
Yeah. And the left hip bone down. Right hip comes up. Press the right foot. Reach the right knee over the toes. Those hips go to that diagonal. And back down. All right. Let's go ahead. Bring your right knee to your chest and your left knee to your chest. And we're going for a 90-90 double chair sit here. You can flex your feet, knit that whole spine down to the roll. Inhale. Exhale. Organize that rib cage. Get it closed off in the front and draw those knees into that double chair sit. We'll do femur arcs here. Dropping your right foot towards the floor. And again, we're moving the ball on the bowl just a little harder here. Back up. And right foot, back up. And left foot, back up. Now, instead of trying to control this all from the front, I want you to pretend that you're pushing your thigh away from you. So you're pushing through mud. The back of that right thigh pushes away. Bring it back up. Notice what happens. Push the left thigh away. Push, push, push like you're going through mud. See how much further you can go and still keep your bowl nice and steady. Right foot, right thigh pushes and back up. Left thigh pushes away. Back up. Right thigh pushes away. Back up. Left thigh pushes and up. And press those knees into your chest. Right foot down, left foot down. Turn your head side to side. How's your neck, Vicki? Good. All right, excellent. That one can get your neck.
But I remembered my ribs.
I love it. Did anybody else notice with pushing the thigh bone away from you how much more control you had?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Vicki, what was the rib? I've forgotten.
The breathing again, like put your hands against your ribs and then breathe into the sides. Like I would just breathe right up in my neck. But
Yeah.
Robin's been teaching me for weeks to breathe, fill up my ribs on the sides. Did I get that right?
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Thank you.
It's really nice.
All right, so let's roll down through the spine. So the sternum drops down, the rib cage drops down, the belly button drops down, the tailbone reaches towards the knees. Now from here, begin to peel the hips up to the ceiling and peel it right back down again. No hamstring cramps. We'll do a couple like that and roll down through the spine to tip the tailbone, peel it up, peel it down, and roll down through the spine to tip the tailbone, peel it up, peel it down. Grab your ring. I almost forgot.
We're still on our thing?
Yes, you're still on your foam roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So place the ring on the outsides of those thighs. Bring the feet in nice and close to the seat. They're just ear distance apart. My new cue. And you're going to pull out on the ring. Press the feet down into the floor. Just hold there. Let the body kind of reorganize itself here. Anybody else feel reorganization happen like crazy for this?
Oh, yeah.
All right. We'll go ahead and roll down through again. Peel the hips up. Reaching those knees across the room. So you're trying to shine those knees right into the corner of the ceiling. And we're going to roll it down. We're going to roll it down differently. So I want you to drop the sternum. Press your pelvis up to the ceiling. Drop the rib cage. Press your pelvis up to the ceiling. Drop the belly button. Press your pelvis up to the ceiling. And now finish the roll down. Do you feel how much more articulation you got in your spine?
Mm-hmm.
And roll down through. Sternum, rib cage, belly button, tipping the tailbone, pulling out on the ring. Roll it up, reaching the knees to the corner of the ceiling and over those toes. And roll it back down. Drop your sternum, press your pelvis up. Drop your rib cage, press your pelvis up. Drop your belly button, press your pelvis up. And now finish the roll all the way down. And one more time, roll down through that spine to tip the tailbone, peeling it up. Press the pelvis up. Then the belly button follows. Then the rib cage gets dragged up. Then the sternum gets dragged up. And pulling out on the ring here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you're feeling this in your lower back, lower your hips. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Out on the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. Up to the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Peel it back down. And rest. All right. Let's take the ring from the outsides of the thighs. Come off of the roll. And set it off to the side. And then keep your ring. And we're going to place the ring between the knees. And we're up and sitting here, Carol.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can we do it lying down?
We're headed in that direction. You know what? Let's go ahead and start laying down. I'm sorry, Carol. Let's go ahead and start laying down.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. Prerogative to change my mind, right?
So more at the knees than the thighs.
Huh?
More at the knees than the thighs?
Thighs. Between the thighs.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You want to between the thighs,
You
Nicholas?
said knees earlier.
I thought you
Did
said
I say
knees.
knees?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm losing my mind.
Okay.
It's because I was changing it. I'm changing up what I typically do. So I'm kind of a little. All right. So we're going to squeeze the ring, press the feet into the mat. And take a break. And squeeze and press the feet. Make sure that rib cage is dropped into the mat. Sternum is nice and rested. Take a break. And squeeze and press. And take a break. Squeeze and press. If you have a reason that you should not be curling up, you are not going to curl up. And you're just going to hold this and continue that squeeze and press. If you can do upper body curls safely, you're going to reach your fingertips towards your heels, draw your chin to the chest, and come in, up into an upper body curl and roll it back down. Up 2, roll it back down. Up 3, roll it back down. Up 4, roll it down. Up 5, roll it down. Up 6, roll it down. Up 7, and down. up 8, and down, up 9, down, up 10, hold here, turn the palms to the mat, and pulse. Inhale 2, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody else is squeezing and pressing the feet still. 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and roll it down. Ta-da. Take the ring out from the outside, the insides of the thighs. Place it off to the side for just a moment. Place your feet together in the middle. And let's take them about 12 inches from your seat. And we're going to roll. Keep your knees together. Keep your ankle bones together. Roll both knees to the left. And let the rib cage drag the legs back up to standing. And roll it to the right.
So the hips is the.
Yes, the hips go over. You lay those knees on the floor. The bottoms of the feet are off the floor because otherwise the ankle bones are no longer together. Now use your ribs. Your ribs come back down to the mat and drag the legs behind it.
Mhm.
And legs to the left. Ribs drag the legs back up to the center. Legs to the right. Ribs drag the legs back up. And let's go ahead and stretch the back of the right leg. So take your ring, bottom of the foot in the ring or toes in the ring, reach that heel to the ceiling. Now, if this is not long enough for you, you can also use your band. You can take your theraband, but it is more important that the back of your knee be straight than it is that it be up over your chest. Just stretching the back of that leg. Slide your left leg all the way down. Press the back of your left thigh into the mat. Bring in the left hand, bring that leg across.
Huh?
So stretch your IT band. Put it in the opposite hand there. So, yep. And now put your right hand down on the floor, Vicki. And now you can bring that across your body.
Right hip has to go up.
There you go. Yeah. Right hip actually should stay glued to the mat.
Oh, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yep. Glued to the mat. But
I'm
bring the leg
sorry, I
across.
pulled it wrong. Okay.
Yeah, but bring the leg across. There you go. There you go. If you let the hip roll up, you lose the stretch across the back of the hip.
Oh.
And now ring it in the right hand, take that leg to the outside. There you go, Vicki.
Hold on to this. Cheating.
Now having fun over there?
Yeah, I'm cheating, holding on to I think her laugh is infectious. That's why I laugh.
It is. She's definitely contagious for sure. And bring that leg back up over your chest and switch legs. Left foot inside the ring, reach it to the ceiling. Ooh, that one's tight today.
Let's see, where's the other one fit?
If you're feeling extra tight, you can do a little tiny bend on the knee and straighten, bend and straighten. A lot of times that little nerve floss will really help to open it up. And slide your right leg down, press that thigh into the mat. Bring the ring in the right hand, bring that left thigh across the body. And ring in the left hand, take it to the outside. Bring it back up to center. And Set your ring off to the side for a moment. You are going to bring your right knee to your chest. If you can uncover your shin bone, do so. I'm going to do something kind of different here. I want you to just grab that knee and pull it towards your chest and feel where that knee goes. Feel what's happening in your hip joint. Feel what's happening in your knee. Okay? Now, let go of it. Take your fingers, interlace them. Make a little basket here. Place it on the top of the knee. Do not pull it into your chest yet. Slide your hands, drag your hands down to about halfway across your shin. So you're dragging down. And now pull your knee in towards your chest.
Wow,
Wow.
big difference.
Yeah. That's my new trick, and I love it. It's magic.
I mean, it moves like an inch and a half more.
Exactly. Yes. You created space in the knee joint by doing that, and you created space in the hip joint by pulling the fascia out of the way.
And it goes even further if you go down towards your ankle.
Uh-huh.
And I need to shave.
Put your left knee in.
Oh, God.
Interlace those fingers. Hands at the top of the knee. And again, just pull it straight in and feel how restricted it is to begin with. Patty, I'm interested to find out what this one does.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to the middle of my shin.
If you can't, that's okay. Just feel what it feels like to actually like pull the skin towards your shin.
If I lean a little bit, I can get my left.
Okay. All right. So from here, slide those hands, dragging that skin away from your knee to mid shin, and now pull that knee towards your chest. Magic. And actually, if you continue to pull the skin towards your foot and then pull it back up towards you, toward your face, and pull it towards your skin, you don't want any. Pull that skin towards your foot. You can really actually tell how connected it is to the hip joint there. All right, down there. All right, so let's roll to the side. Come up to seated. Grab your ring.
Did we do both legs?
Yes.
Oh, I did.
I didn't need to.
Oops. All right.
Oh,
We
well.
did back here.
All right. Place your ring between your thighs again. And you're going to grab the backs of your knees here. Bring your feet against sits bone distance and bottoms of the feet on the floor. Squeeze the ring. Squeeze the ring. I interrupted my nap today too. It was quite obnoxious. All right, so you're squeezing, you're sitting tall. Press those feet into the floor. From here, we're just going to hinge back. Shoulder blades are down the back. You've got a nice long neck. Now, your head is going to be like someone's reaching, pulling you into the corner of the ceiling, and you're anchoring your tailbone down, and you're holding that there. Arms make a nice stiff ring here, yes. And the shoulder blades are down and open, and inhale. You're going to exhale and grow long and tall. Inhale. Drop that chin down a little bit, Carol. There you go. Exhale. Good. One more. Inhale, I know. And exhale. And come up. Set the ring off to the side. We're going to redo that hip one. I just messed up everything we did on our hips. So now you get a chance to do, now you can do it twice on the left.
Okay.
All right, If you are okay to curl down, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, hands back and come down this way, okay? If not, we're going to drag the feet, curl that tailbone under, and roll all the way down.
So you're
For you, I just want you to come flat back.
Oh.
Yep, just come down the first leg. Yep. So we're not loading the front of that spine.
okay.
All right. So again, right knee into the chest, slide the hands down to the shin, draw that knee into the chest, resting that hip flexor. Let's go ahead and stretch the
Just
other
do the
leg.
other one.
Yeah.
Stretch the other leg all the way down, pressing the back of that thigh into the mat. So stretch yeah, there you go. Jim, does that feel completely different for you? I asked too quick, didn't I?
It just hurts.
No. Switch legs. Right foot is down. Slide along the shin and then draw the knee towards the chest. Slide the right leg all the way down. Press the back of the right thigh into the mat, opening up the front of that right hip. And good. Let's go ahead and roll to our belly. So your hands are right underneath your forehead here. If you need to put a pillow under your belly to protect your lumbar spine. The other two things that you can do, you can separate your feet mat width apart for your lower back. Or when we get ready to lift both ends, you can lift just the upper body or just the lower body. Just protect that lower back. So right here, forehead's on the hands. And inhale. Exhale. Organize that rib cage so that the rib cage is pulled to the hip bones in the front. Shoulder blades are down. Spine is getting very long. Pelvis is pressing into the mat. Lengthen the legs until they begin to hover. Lengthen the top of the head across the room until it begins to hover. Lower down. Inhale and exhale, lengthen to that hover. Inch of space between each vertebrae, all the way through that spine. Rest it down. Exhale, lengthen. Rest it down. Exhale, lengthen. Rest it down. Let's go ahead. Everybody separate your feet mat width. And separate your arms mat width. Or wider. You're going to press your pelvis into the mat. Pull the belly button away from the mat. And the rib cage is reaching towards your hip bones. Press those hands. Press those legs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. This time as you exhale, you're going to pretend you've got a marble underneath your nose. You're going to roll the marble away. And then begin to slide the hands up, pulling them through the mud here until you come up into a chest lift. Rest it back down. Good. Jim, is that belly still pulled into your spine there at the lumbar?
Yes.
Good. And exhale. Roll the marble away. Come up. Just to the bottom ribs. Rest it back down. Pelvis is still pressing into the mat. And exhale. Bring it up. You're dragging those hands through the mud. If that feels pretty good, you can lift your right arm and your left leg. If that bothers your lower back, go ahead and lower yourself back down to that hover, and you can work the same way right here. And lift the left arm, right leg, back down. And right arm, left leg, back down. Pressing, lifting. Pressing, lifting. Press, lift, press, lift. One more, press and lift. Now go ahead and lower to that hover. Belly buttons away from the floor. Lift both arms and both legs to that hover. Shoulder blades are coming down the back. Back of the neck is nice and long. Lift your right arm and your left leg a little higher. And switch, and switch, and switch. And we're going to pick up the pace. Switch 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. You're doing fine.
Oh,
4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 4, 5. And rest it down. So for swimming, everybody come up and look for just a second. It lifts and you flutter just like you're swimming. And that's the inhale 2.
oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. With your nose, you hold your nose.
Oh, your nose just hovers off the mat.
Okay.
Yep.
Just like swimming, hold your nose.
Well, anything except smash it into the mat, right? All right. Bring your hands back so that they're in your arm, in line with your armpits back here. And your nose just hovers off the mat. If you need to separate your feet for your lumbar spine, you can. Otherwise, you can keep them together. I want you to let your shoulder blades come up to your ears. Now reach your elbows towards your heels. Feel what that does to your shoulder blades and how it opens up your neck. And let them come up. Reach your elbows towards your heels. As those elbows are reached towards the heels, if you keep reaching, feel what that does to your upper body and how that brings you up to a chest press. And roll it back down. Only as high as is comfortable for you. Let those shoulders come up to your ears. Reach them away just so that you can really feel the difference here. Inhale. Exhale, press your pelvis, lift the belly button, reach those elbows towards the heels to come up to the bottom rib, and roll it back down. And reach the elbows towards the heels, peel it up. Good. If you are comfortable there, go ahead and put some weight into those hands. Keep your elbows reaching back. Can you come up? And straighten the knees all the way. This is swan 1. And notice I am at my thighs.
Oh.
My pelvis is up. Good. Nice. That's beautiful. And roll it all the way back down. The goal is to do that and not let your shoulders come up to your ears. So reach those elbows back towards your heels. Let those elbows pull you up. Begin to put weight into the hands and push to that swan position. And rolling it back down. We'll do one more like that and roll the marble away. Reach the elbows back. Press through and up. Belly buttons into the spine like crazy. And then peel it all the way back down.
Wow.
Gosh.
That looks
Like a
really
push-up.
good.
My hamstrings are saying, no.
Yeah, interesting. Let's go ahead and press back into a child's pose here. Separate, bring your feet together and separate your knees. I'm going to go for a nice long child's pose here. Reach those hands way out to the front. Now, something a little for your shoulders here. I want you to press your hands into the mat And then act as if you're going to pull the hands apart this way, but they're not going to go anywhere. So it's like pull. All right. Pull those hands apart, but don't let them go anywhere. And feel what happens at your shoulder girdle. Some nice deep breaths there into the sides of the ribs. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. One more. And inhale. And exhale. Roll that all the way up. Good. We're going to do one more on the belly. We'll do our prone heel beats. So let's come all the way back down. And fold up the hands underneath the forehead. So you lengthen the thighs away from you until they start to float to the hover. And you turn your knees out to the side walls a little bit. Glue that pelvis down. Keep the rib cage pulled to the hip bones in the front. Relax the shoulders and the neck. Squeeze the inner thighs. And now here we go. And beat 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Last set. 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 5. And rest it down. From here, rock your pelvis side to side. All right. So from here, let's make a triangle, a tripod out of our elbows and our fist. And we're going to push up to our modified plank. Okay? Go what that feels like. Bring it back down. Stay down here for just a second. Put a little bit of weight into your fist. And then pull your elbows apart, just like we did earlier with the hands.
Oh.
So your elbows, they're not going to go anywhere. They're right underneath your shoulders, but you pull them out that way. And feel what that happens right back here on the backs of your shoulders. Everybody finding that?
Mm-hmm.
Now come up to your plank. Easier?
Yes.
Yes.
And if you're really feeling it, you can straighten the knees. I'm not, I'm leaving them down.
Good idea.
So lift that pelvis up. There you go. Keep pulling out. Lengthen the top of the head to one end. Lengthen the tailbone down towards the heels or towards the knees. And then roll it back down. All right. Are we ready for the choreography? Here we go, guys. All right. So watch once, okay? I'm in my modified plank. I let go of my hands. I place a hand down here, and I turn to my side. My bottom leg is bent. Not sitting in the shoulder, lifting up out of it. Then hands back together to the tripod. Switch the hands. Switch to the other side. There we go. And into your plank, modified plank. Pull those elbows away from one another. Change the hand and roll. Ooh, good. Lift way up out of that shoulder. That rib cage is nice and alive on the bottom and lifting way up. Your bottom leg is bent. Can you straighten your top leg? And back to your plank.
Oh.
And switch sides.
That's how I feel.
Oh,
Really
mommy.
reach way up out of that. What is it?
I don't know.
And back to center.
Oh, that's not.
Press back into your child's pose.
That was a belly flop.
Work in.
Walk your hands to one side. Big inhale into that rib cage. Walk the hands the other side. Big inhale into that rib cage. Back to center. So one of the things I want you guys to start noticing, we're going to roll it up to seated. If you have a shoulder, one shoulder or the other that isn't very functional, and you know that there's something going on with it, when we do things like what we just did, you walk it to one side, walk it to the other, notice the difference in the rib cage.
I know, this
So
one
look-
didn't feel like a stretch at all.
Yeah, a lot of times the shoulder is dependent on the rib cage, and if the rib cage isn't working like it's supposed to, it will affect the shoulder. So, so let's go ahead and tuck your toes, heels together.
Oh.
Sit back onto those heels. Keep your ankle bones together if you can. You can bring it all the way up to here if that's okay for you. Such a big stretch on the bottoms of the feet. Good. Hands down. Let's push back into our squat.
Was it okay not to put the ankles together?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. If you cannot put the ankles together, you can actually come into a squat here, and I'm okay with this.
Okay, thanks. Or somewhere in between.
Or somewhere in between, yes. And if you want extra, is there anybody? Carol might be able to do this. Carol, can you come in like this? And just cross those hands and find your balance there.
You stay there or stay like this?
Don't fall on those sits bones though.
I can
That
do
would
it.
not be good.
Oh, that-
There you go.
Is this
Good. Uh-huh. All right. Send your tailbone up to the ceiling. And just hang. Some nice deep breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. Bend one knee, straighten the other, just back and forth here. Good. Bend both knees. Drop your tailbone down towards your heels. Draw your belly button in and up to the ceiling. Let that hang. And now draw your elbows to your knees. Come to a flat back. Drop your tailbone down. Pull the belly button in and up. And come to a flat back. And belly button in and up. Curl just a little bit. And into a flat back. Holding here, let the hands drop down towards the floor. Nice long spine. Tailbone reaches one side. Top of the head to the other. If you're good there, you feel like you've got some good support, go ahead and take the arms up over your head. And otherwise, keep it down here and just up. Shake those legs. All right, nice and tall. Inhale. And exhale, grow tall. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Inhale. And exhale. Organize that rib cage, pelvis, sternum, head. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And rest. All right. Thanks, guys.
Boy, this
Yay.
was
Good.
Yay. Good. We had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
After a while.
Sissy, you'll have to tell Roan he missed it.